Greetings, fellow Americans. I'm glad that you could join me tonight. I hope all you are having a great week. This week couldn't have started off any better for me. We enjoyed our Memorial Day weekend, and then of course I came back to work today, put in my 8 hours and came home and had a pleasant surprise. In my Facebook page, one of my campaign workers posted that we have just got our first victory in Arizona. This is a monumental case, folks. Many of you know that I am the strategist behind the plan to not go after Barack Obama criminally like all the other attorneys and other plaintiffs have done in the past, but instead what I'm doing is I'm forcing the Secretary of State and the ballot commissions to vet the candidates to make sure that they meet the qualifications stated in the paperwork that they make me fill out in my notice of intent. And also I want to make sure that finally, once and for all, that a term as easy to understand as natural born citizen is finally codified and defined precisely so that we never make this mistake ever again. But back to the Arizona case, I understand that Van Ariens is going to be allowed to produce some additional papers to the case, which means my case will not be dropped. Some of you may not know that Barack Obama sent some of his biggest attorneys to Arizona to take us on. Which is funny about this is that Barack Obama isn't even named as a plaintiff, or I mean as a defendant in any of the cases that we brought up. As a matter of fact, no federal agency in Arizona is brought up. The only people that we had actually sued was the DNC and Wasserman, Reed, and other elements of the Arizona Tea Party. What was interesting is the Barack Obama's attorneys actually said that we failed to serve the DNC. Well, here's something anybody you can do if you have access to the internet, which I suppose you do because you're looking at me right here now. Google up the Liberty Legal Foundation, Van Ariens, that's I-R-I-O-N-S, my name, John Dumett, D-U-M-M-E-T-T, and then serves the Arizona DNC, and that's on December 6th of 2011. The first case that we filed actually was on October 24th of 2011, and that's when I came up with the strategy not to go after Barack Obama specifically, but to go after the ballot commissions and the secretaries of state, because those people don't enjoy the same immunities that the federal government does or Barack Obama. They don't have these high-powered attorneys that they could sick on us. Well, the great news is that we videotaped the entire serving on videotape with this very camera that you're looking at me with right now. My wife was the one that was videotaping. If you all would like to have a laugh, you can go to, like I said, to Google, to YouTube, look at it, and then you can watch them throw the summons on the ground and act like they had never been served it. And of course, they ended up throwing some gestures that I'm sure most of you would know immediately if you saw them. So we've had some very good news. The other good news is that none of my cases have been dismissed, although everybody else that has brought up cases and charges against Barack Obama are dropping like flies. And what you have to understand is that whether we like it or not, Barack Obama happens to be the President of the United States. Now, I don't consider him a President of the United States. I consider him a usurper. Many of you do too. But as far as the government is concerned, Barack Obama is the President of the United States, and the only entity charged with enforcing the law when it comes to the President of the United States, that is Congress. And we all know that Congress is a bunch of spineless people that won't do anything to enforce any constitutional law. So that is why all the cases have been dropped, and that is why I came up with the strategy that I came up with. So that being said, look at the good news that's going on. We've got cases going on in California with Gary Creep. Soon another case will be in Arizona, one in Alabama, one in Tennessee, and I believe we'll be filing Hawaii real soon this week, quite possibly. As you all know, Mike Zula's over there right now. He's the lead investigator with Sheriff Joe Arpaio. I spent an hour and 45 minutes with Sheriff Joe Arpaio and Mike Zillow in their office where we discussed what I was doing and what they were doing, what information that they did show us, that they could show us, and sworn me to secrecy, and the whole 9 yards. But take my word for it, at least the Democratic National Convention is going to be brokered. That's going to be my prediction for you here right now, and I haven't been wrong yet. The other news that's come in the mail, over the email tonight, I was informed that Mitt Romney released his birth certificate, similar to the one that Barack Obama released. That one says that his father was born in Mexico. Folks, I don't know if you understand it, but a natural born citizen is a child that is born of two parents that were born here in this country, or two parents that were naturalized before the child was born. Now, I looked at the records, and it looks like they actually came to the United States in 1939. So we have to look and see exactly when and if Mitt Romney's father actually did take the oath of allegiance to the United States, which I'm assuming that he didn't, because I used to live down in San Diego, Coronado to be more precise, and down there, in order for anybody to own any land in Mexico, you have to be a Mexican citizen. You cannot be an American citizen, own land. The most you can do there in Mexico is lease out land for 99 years. After that, it reverts back to the Mexican government. So therefore, I wouldn't assume that Mitt Romney's father would have given up all their holdings in Mexico to move back to the United States. So it's going to be my guess that along with this bogus birth certificate from Mitt Romney and his lack of cooperation. Now, he did release this birth certificate, but believe me, he's running away from this issue every bit as fast as Barack Obama is. So it's going to be my guess that he has similar issues with that. But that being said, that's enough for the birthday issue. What I wanted to get down to you folks is I wanted to let you know what I'm going to do for this nation should I happen to be fortunate enough to be in a position where I'm at the convention. They broker the Republican convention because Mitt Romney is not eligible to be president, and therefore quite possibly I could be standing before you as either the presidential candidate or the vice presidential candidate of the United States of America. And I want you all to know where I stand explicitly where it comes to the United States. I don't know if any of you know this, but I've had quite a few death threats in my little journey here to get justice for all the people here in the United States. An Islamic group had sent me a death threat via the web with some Quranic verses telling me that I'm on their hit list. Well, I can tell you that isn't going to scare me away. I'm in it to restore the Constitution to its original form and intent, and to return power to the states where it really belongs, folks, not with the federal government. We are not